Tube, what up, man? It's your boy Josh, bro. Decided I'd make a video. Check out the Dragon Con swag. Yeah, this shit hard. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about, I don't know, man. I've been watching a new anime. It's called Frieren. I don't know how to say that, but it's a good anime and it's about adventure, bro. And it just had me thinking a lot, man. Like, I have really been thinking about and it kind of makes me sad, but honestly, it's just how much time I've wasted, you know? How much time I've wasted, like, taking things for granted. How much time I've wasted, like, not thinking about my future at all. Just kind of living day by day. And it doesn't feel like that when you're doing it, you know? It never feels like that when you're doing it, bro. It always feels like, okay, I'm doing something with a purpose. I'm doing something with a goal in mind. I'm doing something that, you know, I can see my future self doing. And, you know, I started to think as things kind of turn dimmer and dimmer, you know, and I get older, like, that creative spark just it's not there. I don't have anything that I kind of want to build for myself outside of a YouTube channel. This job, constant anxiety, it's the job I wanted. You know, I applied twice. Granted, the first time I applied was 2 years ago. And I definitely could have did this job back then, but apparently they only had like 2 black people. But that's neither here nor there. The reality is like, I could have did this job 2 years ago. You know, and all this time when I was making money, I could have been planning like my life out. You know, there was an episode in Frieren where they had 2 brothers, and one of the brothers wanted to be an adventurer. The other brother was cool with just being a priest and staying where he was. And that monotony was what he was okay with. You know, his biggest accomplishment had been being a priest and being a priest for his hometown. And then the other brother kind of just held himself down for whatever reason. Super talented, super outgoing, but he just held himself down for no reason. And he stayed in his hometown because he felt like he had this duty almost. It was almost like a fear of leaving his brother because he felt like his brother made a sacrifice. Now, that's not a parallel to me in my life in particular, but at the same time, it is something that I've thought about. Why am I here? I don't want to leave my friends. Why am I here? I'm comfortable where I am. And I get so tired of routines, so tired of monotony. I really don't thrive in that, you know? But I was finding an adventure with being able to throw events and, you know, do stuff. But at some point, I just realized that, like, bro, I've always been meant to be an adventurer, you know? And come back with new stories, new ideas, just new experiences to share. And that's why I started the channel. You know, I go to Japan so often, bro, and it's like, yo, let me show y'all how it's like to be there. Let me show you what my experiences were as a black guy in Japan and how you could probably relate to this, you know. And I love when people ask me those questions, like, bro, like, you know, how was it? You know, like, how did you feel this? Did you feel that? Like, I felt good when they asked me these questions because I could come back with stories and offer perspective. And ultimately, that priest decided to leave his hometown in Frieren. He's like, yeah, you know what? It's time for me to go. Why did I wait so long? You know, and his biggest question that his brother asked him that really hit home for me was, how long are you gonna live in regret? You gotta ask yourself that shit, bro. How long are you going to live in regret of your decisions? Is it 3 years? Is it 3 days? Is it 3 hours? Is it 10 years? And the later that you choose to remove yourself from your regret, the more time would have been passed, which just leads to more regret. Like, well, I could have been did this and I could have been did that. And it really hit home because I feel that way. I could have been moved, bro. If I was really focused on it, I could have been moved. I could have been did everything. And I do everything that I wrote down in my whatevers, calendar, whatever the fuck. I just write that shit down, bro. I could have been did so much stuff, bro. I could have been did it. And I didn't. And I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't do it, bro. But I could have been did this shit, man. I could have been moved. And I can't live in that regret any longer. This is what I asked for. These corporate jobs, I realized don't nobody like that corporate job, bro. It comes with a whole bunch of anxiety, a whole bunch of stress. But, what am I doing this shit for? Am I here for a reason? The answer is yes. It's not about the job. It's just about getting what I want to get out of it. But I say all that to say, man, don't live in the regret, bro. I'm not ever going to say it's too late to change. It's not ever too late to change. But, man, when you wait such a long time to change, it definitely hits like a ton of rocks, bro. It sucks. It sucks. I wish I had made decisions faster, earlier, quicker. I could have been retired by now, retired by 33, if I had taken life more seriously. And that's the thing, I just haven't. I hadn't taken anything serious. And now I'm here with a full-time job, and it just feels like it's draining me. Things are turning from this vivid place where I could do all of these ideas to kind of just black and white monotony. And that was the brother that was the priest. He just lived in monotony, and he was cool with that. But I'm not meant for that. And if you on this channel, you're probably not meant for that either, bro. I'm just gonna be real with you. If you looking up anything about Japan, dating in Japan, cool things to do in Japan, it could even be Taiwan, it could be Italy, it could be Spain, wherever you're looking stuff up, it just tells me that, bro, you're meant to be a traveler, bro. These things happen for a reason, dog. So hopefully somebody comes across this video and say, hey, I could take something out of it. I gotta be able to do something that really means something to me at some point. I'm only getting older. The pressure's getting harder. The hair's getting thinner. You gotta make some changes at some point, man. Well, regardless of that, bro, I appreciate y'all being with me for this. I guess it's gonna be a shorter video, but yeah, appreciate y'all supporting me on the channel, bro. We had 399 subs. I'm almost at 400 subs, man. I can't believe that. I would have never thought I would get there, to be honest. And it means a lot every single time, genuinely, because I know at some point this channel will help me achieve my goals, bro, for real. And I'll be able to do something that gives my life a little bit more color, a little bit less black and white. Maybe I can draw outside the lines a little bit at some point, but appreciate y'all, man.